Good evening, Fernwood. It is your AC craving friend Neil here, and it's time for us to keep it cool with another episode of Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 146 from October 25th, 1976. It's time to do our recap. Last week started with Mary Hartman coming home from the mental ward on a weekend pass. She had some real talk with Heather and also had a reunion with Tom, which got very erotic. Mary started to catch up with Loretta, but then soon afterward went over to the Haggers' home to try to help Charlie with his sexual problems. Unknowingly, she revealed those sexual problems to Merle Jeters, who was just standing within earshot. Loretta let her have it after that, and Mary is unsure exactly how she feels about Loretta at this point. After this, Mary was unsure whether she should go back to the ward, and Tom assured her that he would not force her to go, but that she should go if she feels that she is benefiting from it. And given that amount of agency, Mary chose to return. Over at the Shumway residence, Martha has been distraught over the disappearance of George, who vanished mysteriously as he left the car to open her door. She has reached out to the Fernwood Police Department, and that has involved Detective Johnson, who has acted on his crush to ask Martha out on a date. Also, Martha has received a phone call suggesting that George was abducted by a UFO. On the other hand, Kathy believes that George left because she told him that she was pregnant, and not only that she was pregnant, but she did not know who the father of the baby would be. She has ruled out Clete Meisenheimer and is now on the trail of the bartender she dated at the beginning of season 1, Larry Kabibian. Merle Jeters had planned to move away from Fernwood after the loss of his son Jimmy Joe, who was electrocuted in the bathtub. However, after receiving tons of fan mail and monetary support from locals in the Fernwood area, he's sticking around. Merle is starting to make arrangements to build condos for Christ, but he is not willing to bribe the deputy chief to make that happen. And then here's the recap of last Friday. Chester put Mary on the phone with his friend Fletch, who confirmed that Chester has access to plutonium and will indeed blow up a 2,400 square mile area in southern Ohio. Charlie found an ad for a medical advancement which would help put the Haggers' sex life back on track. Mary gets to know Nurse Gimble, whose enigmatic injuries seem a little bit too much to explain away, and Tom at his new job makes his first sale, and then soon after that meets an attractive young woman named Annie, who has asked him to come meet her to service her recreational vehicle. That's the recap that we've got. It's time to start this Monday episode. We'll talk about it afterward.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Well, I think I got it all fixed.
Oh, great. What do I owe you for all your trouble?
Well, nothing at all. Just forget it, okay?
Oh, hey, that's very nice of you. Is that a permanent characteristic of yours? I mean, being
I don't
nice?
know. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, I wish I could say that.
Well, you seem mighty nice to me.
No. No, I sometimes have a lack of consideration for other people. Like now. You must be dying in these close quarters.
What do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean?
I must have had 2 bunches of scallions an hour ago.
Scallions?
Long green onions. I love them with Ritz crackers. Oh, right now I could probably empty a ballpark by breathing in center field.
That's funny. You're very funny. You know that?
I've got a lot of class. It's all third. Seriously, do you mean to tell me you're comfortable here?
Yeah, I mean to tell you, yeah.
Well, then that leaves only 3 possibilities. 1, you're a darling liar. The most tolerant man I have ever met. Or you need a new nose.
Well, that might be. I don't know.
Sit down. I'll get you a drink.
Yeah, I'll sit down. But listen, wait a minute. I don't drink. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, that is wild. Me too.
Yeah?
What else do we have in common?
I don't know. Where are you from?
Well, Oh, would you like a cup of coffee?
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to impose, though, but...
I wouldn't let you impose. Let's see. I'm from Atlantic City, Niagara Falls, Saratoga Springs, Palm Beach. I'm, well, sort of what you'd call a resort groupie. I was on my way to Arizona before I stopped here. Oh, cheers.
Oh, yeah, cheers. So how long are you going to be here?
Oh, I never know. Sometimes I get a resort feeling from a non-resort kind of place. Do you know, once I stayed 3 months in Buffalo because someone got a big interest in teaching me how to shoot pool.
Yeah, who is that, Minnesota Fats or Buffalo Fats?
Truth?
Yeah.
It's none of your business. No, I just liked relaxing all day and shooting pool at night. Felt resorty. Now, tell me a bit about Fernwood.
What about Fernwood? Well, Fernwood is a good place. I guess it's no better, no worse than any other place, I guess.
It's a funny thing about places. They're only as nice as the people you're there with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it wasn't an original thought. I got it from Hemingway.
Who?
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, yeah, he's a writer, right? Yeah. Actually, I don't read too much, you know. Maybe I should.
Well, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, as long as you don't overdo it.
How do you mean?
Well, as long as you don't let it become a substitute for living.
That makes a lot of sense, too.
Stevenson, that's who I got that one from.
Adlai Stevenson?
Robert Louis Stevenson.
Robert Louis, oh, gee. Yeah, I read that guy in high school. I remember. Yeah. Hey, what's that on the record player? What is that?
Oh, it's Etude, Chopin.
Oh, yeah? Sure. I don't understand much about classical music either.
Neither do I. But I like the sound of it. And I like the feeling I get when I'm listening to it.
Yeah? You're pretty educated, then, aren't you? I mean, Hemingway, Stevenson, Chopin, wow.
Look, don't let me fool you, pal. If I'm coming off educated, it's a fraud. No, actually, I was 13 years old and in the 10th grade when my father died. My mother got remarried, and my stepfather used to get into bed with me quite a bit at night, and well, just to show me how comfy things were going to be.
Wow.
After I got married and was a big girl.
That's terrific, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well, I got to be a big girl before I was in the 11th grade. I never went back to any school again.
So you don't have any family, huh?
Oh, well, yes and no. I have 2 grown kids who don't need me anymore, and the memory of a husband who died.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm going to tell you something, though. You don't look old enough to have 2 grown children.
I'm going to tell you something. I am old enough to know when I'm being flattered. Thanks anyway.
Oh, you're welcome. That's... Listen, I think I better be going, running along. Well, thanks a lot for the coffee.
Listen, thanks for fixing the old boat. I mean, you sure I don't owe you something?
No. Listen, I enjoyed talking to you so much. I'm not sure I don't owe you,
Hey. Talk about nice.
Yeah, well. You're gonna be taking off tomorrow, huh?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'll know by tomorrow at dinner time. Why don't you come by?
Well, thanks, Mrs. Wiley. I'd love to.
Annie.
Annie, okay, thanks. I'd love to, Annie, but Well, see, the thing
You're
is...
married.
Yeah, I'm married, right.
Don't act so sheepish about it. I mean, a lot of people get married. I think what really threw me off was the fact that you said, you had no place to go tonight.
Well, my wife is in the hospital, see.
Oh, Jim, sorry. I hope it's nothing serious.
No, it's not serious. Just, she'll be out pretty soon. She had a little nervous breakdown, you know.
Wait a minute.
What?
Now it's Hartman, Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
Are you married to Mary Hartman?
Yeah.
I saw her on the David Susskind show. That was a very attractive breakdown. What I mean is, she's pretty. Look, Tom, when I invited you here to have dinner, I mean, I wasn't making a pass. I don't make passes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, with me, things happen. If they don't happen to happen, they don't happen. Really, I just wanted to share dinner and some talk.
Yeah, well. You gonna have some more Chopin, all right?
Chopin, etudes, sonatas. I've got Chopin, even Chopin didn't write. Will you come?
I'd say, I don't know.
Hey, listen, what is the big hang-up? I'm 51 years old. I mean, tell yourself you're going to see an aunt.
An aunt? I gotta tell you something. You don't look like any aunt I've ever had. I'll tell you about that. Well.
Will you be here?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what is the hang-up? Really?
Well, I don't have a hang-up. It's just, tomorrow night, okay? Aunt Annie?
Aunt Annie.
Oh, Tom. Oh, please be there. Oh, please, anybody be there.
Hello, Dad?
Hello, Heather?
Is this Mom?
Who is this?
Heather Hartman.
Heather, I know who you are. This is Mommy.
Who?
Mommy Hartman. Is Tom there?
Who?
Daddy. Is Daddy there?
No, he's probably working late at the office or something like that.
He's at the office? The Slade? What's he doing at the office? What's he closing, a big deal or something? Paperwork? What?
I don't know. He didn't say. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine, sweetheart. I'm just a little disturbed.
I know.
No, I don't mean I don't mean that kind of disturbed. Now, Heather, now I want you to listen to my instructions very carefully, okay? Now, the minute Daddy gets home, tell him very calmly, and don't, I repeat, don't tell him I was upset, to call me as though his life depended on it. Now, have you got that?
Yeah. Should I tell him it's an emergency?
No, don't scare him. Leave that to me. Now, goodbye, sweetheart. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah. I sure hope you feel better.
Okay, sweetheart. Bye. It's just so hard to convince anybody you're sane when you're talking from a payphone.
Kabibian. Kabibian. What? You're who? His mother? Then how come you don't know how to spell Kabibian? Oh, you've changed it a few times since then, and you've forgotten. Well, it's Kabibian with 2 B's.
Oh, I hope and pray he's not the father. If he is, I'd just rather never know.
I see. Well, Mrs. Arlentini, no, I don't want to know how you spell it. Yes, I'm sure you do know how to spell it. I just want to know if you could tell me where Larry is. You haven't heard from him in 2 months? You've got... Mrs. Arlentini, please don't start crying. Mrs. Arlentini, please stop crying. If you don't stop crying, I'm going to have to hang up the phone. What are you doing, Mother?
Figuring
Figuring what?
how we're going to live.
Why don't you figure out why we should even bother to live?
Why, of course we should bother to live. That's what life is all about. The only question is, how are we going to live? We don't have very much.
How bad is it?
Well, you know, your daddy used to always handle all the money. And I'm not very good at finances, but the nearest that I can figure, you see, with what we have and nothing coming in, we're going to have to live on about $46 a year for the next 7 years.
Oh, that's great. How did you figure that?
Well, you see, because your daddy is missing and we don't know where he is, we won't be able to collect his insurance for 7 years. So we'll have to tighten our belts.
Well, with me getting pregnant more and more each day, I'm going to have to loosen mine.
Oh dear, I'm going to have to change my arithmetic.
Why?
I didn't allow anything for the baby.
I'll try and get a job.
Oh, but where, Kathy?
I don't know. There isn't much demand for pregnant cocktail waitresses. Maybe Father DeMarco will have an idea.
But I thought you were ashamed to tell Father DeMarco that you were pregnant.
I am, but I have to talk to him. Not only about finding me a job and being pregnant, but about everything. I think I need his guidance.
I just wish he'd been here to guide you away from that date.
Hello, may I speak to Father DeMarco, please? He what? Are you sure? Thank you. Thank you very much. He's gone. He transferred to another parish, and he's gone.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't even want to think about it.
Oh, and he left without even saying goodbye to us.
Oh, Mother, you don't understand. We were in love. And because of him being a priest and now my being pregnant. Oh, what am I going to do? What exactly am I going to do, Mother?
Come in, Miss Shumway. Thank you for coming.
What did you want to see me about? Is there something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. Sit down. As a matter of fact, there's nothing so wrong in this world that we can't find something right about it. If you know what I mean.
Listen, I have a lot of things on my mind, and I would appreciate it if you would just get to the point.
You impetuous young people, you know, sometimes you're too impetuous.
I don't know. I suppose so.
You must know. I mean, after all, your impetuousness got you into a little trouble. About 9 months worth of trouble.
How do you know about that?
Sit down. Simple, from the people at the lab where you had your pregnancy tests.
Do they just tell everybody about those tests?
Not everybody. You know, after all, I am a doctor.
Well, I thought those tests were supposed to be confidential.
Look, I don't want you to be upset, all right? I mean, I'm here to help you.
Help? Help? What, by selling me an abortion? If I want an abortion, I'll ask for it.
No. I got a much better way to help you.
How?
Certainly, Miss Shumway, you must be aware of the fact that we're living in the age of contraception.
Yes, I never heard it put like that, but I'm somewhat aware of it.
Yeah, with the dropping birth rate, you know, there's a tremendous demand for babies. I mean, people all over the country are standing in line to adopt them. I mean, all kinds of people, including wealthy people who are willing to pay very well for the privilege.
So you want me to have my baby and sell it?
Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way.
Then how would you put it?
Realistically. Miss Shumway, let's look at this realistically. If you have the baby, you're not in any position to financially care for it, right?
So?
So you're going to have to put it up for adoption.
So?
So wouldn't the more sensible thing be is to make sure that it's adopted by a family who can properly bring it up?
Pay me for giving them my baby?
Well, why not?
What, are you in the baby selling business?
I have a humanitarian interest in helping out unfortunate girls and finding proper homes for the children of unwed fathers and mothers and parents.
And getting a cut of the deal?
Not at all. This takes a lot of my time and I have certain expenses.
Oh, like paying off the people in the clinic for telling you about the pregnancy tests.
All right, I can see you're very upset. Well,
Upset? I'm sick to my stomach, and it isn't morning sickness.
you think about it, all right, Miss Shumway? Just think about it, and you'll come to the realization that in the end, all I'm trying to do is help you find that silver lining.
This is tacky. It's very tacky. It's the pits.
You think about it, all right, Miss Shumway? Please think about it. There are long lists of couples who are willing to pay well for nice, healthy, bouncing babies. Especially nice, healthy, bouncing wasp babies, which is what yours will be, I assume.
I don't know. What's Armenian?
Armenian.
Yes, hold the wire. Telephone, Mary. It's your husband.
Oh. Tom,
Mary?
I tried to reach you last night. Didn't Heather tell you?
Well, I called you the minute I got home, but then they said it was too late to put the call through.
Well, where were you?
Well, I had some business to take care of.
At night? Do people buy trailers at night? I mean, can't they see them better in the daytime?
Honey, look, I'm not working on an assembly line 8 hours a day anymore. I'm going to have some business to take care of at night now. And you're just going to have to get used to it, that's all.
Okay, don't get mad.
I'm not mad.
Well, you sound mad.
Mary, I'm not mad.
Well, now you sound even madder.
Okay, I'll stop, all right?
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You're not mad?
I swear.
Okay. So where were you last night?
So what'd you call for?
I didn't call. You called.
Last night. You called last night. And I'm calling you just to find out if something's wrong.
You're not answering my question.
Mary, is something wrong?
Well, if blowing up the entire state of Ohio is wrong, then there's something wrong. Tom, there is something very wrong, especially if you live in Ohio, which we do. Tom, I am absolutely frantic, and you have got to do something.
Yeah, well, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to come by the hospital tonight.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, that's wonderful.
So please, stop worrying, that's all. And, you're just going to make yourself sick all over again, sweetheart.
Not as sick as I'd be if I were hit by an atomic bomb.
Mary.
Tom, listen to me. Did you know that plutonium-239 breeds into explosive proportions?
Mary, please. I don't want to hear any more talk about atomic bombs, okay?
Okay. Only just one more thing. Did you know that it has a half-life of 24,000 years?
Mary, look, I got to get back to work now. I'll see you tonight, and then we'll talk about everything, okay?
Okay. But, Tom,
Yeah.
just remember, plutonium will be breeding even as we speak.
I love you, Mary.
I love you too, Tom. And I thank you for taking care of everything. Tom, what's really terrifying about 239 is how quickly it can become 240. You get it?
Yeah, I got it, sweetheart. Now, I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is everything all right?
Oh, I just really think everything's going to be more terrific than ever. I mean, just better than it's ever been, with Tom and me.
Oh.
Yeah. It's strange how you can be so familiar with someone and there are just certain things that you just don't know about them, that you just suddenly learn about them after all these times. I mean, things I've known about Tom I've just never even seen before,
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I just always knew that he was very strong and protective. I mean very strong and protective. I just never knew he was very, very strong and protective.
But all men are, Mary. But it is the function of the woman to bring that side out of them, to turn that their violence into strength and protectiveness.
Oh, you mean like you were telling me yesterday?
Yes. And I'm so happy to see that you have been able to follow my advice and bring out that side of your husband so quickly. Just overnight. Just one phone call, actually. You're fantastic, Mary. You are a fantastically functioning woman. You really are.
I am. Really, I am.
I don't know how you did it.
Neither do I. Maybe it has something to do with being on national television,
Welcome back, everyone. And so Annie is an attractive woman who seems to have her stuff together, at least as far as the ability to be on the road. She's a bit older than Tom and Mary, and I guess she's not trying to seduce him or anything, but it does seem like kind of a risky behavior for Tom to undertake at this moment. And I think he is feeling some attraction for her. So I get why he would want to beg off of visiting again. And now he has promised to see both Annie and Mary at the same time. And I'm not sure what that's going to mean. I think he literally has just promised Mary to visit her. He probably should be going to visit her. That's what I hope will happen. Mary has a legitimate concern, but also listening to it on the phone like that, or even, it just sounds completely delusional to hear it like this. And I don't know how she can prove what she knows to anyone. Like, it just sounds silly. So I think Tom may be worried for her sanity. I would be if I heard this. And then it's Kathy's story, and Kathy is not finding Larry Kabibian. Apparently is just missing. So, I mean, I don't expect to see Steve again, and Cleet is not the father as far as Cleet understands, and she can't even find Father DeMarco, who she actually has emotions for. I don't understand what the emotions are at this moment, but Father DeMarco has moved away. Kathy's at a loss, and she can't survive at home with Martha. Martha doesn't have an income because George is missing. So what the heck? Then she talks to Dr. Furman, who suggests adoption, and that may be the smartest choice for a young woman who really has no income and no way to support herself, not much less a baby. You know, now I'm seeing Nurse Gimble really seems to be the agent of the patriarchy. She really likes this image that men are supposed to be violent protectors and women are supposed to stop war, but also kind of bring out the protection in men. And, you know, it's a point of view. I'm just going to let it be. She can believe what she wants to believe. I don't agree with it, but people see the world in different ways. So there we are. That, everyone, is the start of week 4 of season 2 of Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman, thank you for keeping it cool with me. I know I was sweating up a storm during this episode, but I appreciate you and all the thoughts that you've been sharing about the episodes as we go. Thank you again for being here, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.